Holton has yet another invasive species that poses threats to your health, and it's known as wild parsnips.
So wild parsnip is a non-native invasive plant that's come over into our province, and it's now spreading rapidly along roadsides and streams and various other areas. So this is the plant right beside us here. So the plant has the yellow flowers. Looks a little bit like a dill plant with the yellow umbrella-shaped flowers.
Wild parsnips produces a lot of seeds and can spread quite quickly and easily, but the main area for concern is that it's a health hazard for humans if you touch its sap.
When you break the plants and expose the sap and get the sap on your skin, the sap causes your skin to be photosensitive. So it's the same kind of reaction that giant hogweed causes. So the sap is kind of like anti-sunscreen, makes your skin really sensitive to the UV rays. So once your skin has been exposed to the sap and then that skin is exposed to sunlight, it can cause really severe burns. It's very painful, causes large blisters, and they can last for weeks.
The plant has very distinctive features. It has a yellow flower top on a long stalk with fern-like leaves, and their stems are veined and rather rough. It can also grow to just over 5 feet and groups together. If you do come across it, it is important to know how to manage it.
The best thing to do is just stay away from the plants. The poison parsnip or wild parsnip, it's really a problem when you break the plants, so if you know what you're looking for and avoid it, you won't be at any risk. If you have it in your yard and you need to control it, you want to make sure you fully protect yourself from being exposed to the sap. And often we would recommend you call a weed control specialist because it is a toxic plant and you don't want to be putting yourself at risk. The best time to control it is earlier in the year, so May and June is a good time to control it because that's before it will produce the seeds and produce the flowers. If you try to control it after it's produced the seeds, you might be spreading the seeds farther. So that's a good plan to control it earlier in the season.
And since it is a poisonous plant, you can use some pesticides to kill it, or you can call a weed control specialist to remove it safely. You can also pull it up yourself if there's only a few plants, but ensure you're removing it safely and properly.
So you got to be fully covered and fully protected from that sap and dispose of it in a responsible manner so you're not exposing any other workers collecting your garbage to it. So you got to make sure they're fully dried or let them sit in a black plastic bag and decompose for at least a week or two in a nice hot sunny area. So once it's fully decomposed, it shouldn't be a problem.
Wild parsnips is most common along roadways and hiking trails, but those most at risk are the ones who don't know it's in your yards while grooming.
The biggest risk are people that are doing lawn maintenance or any whippersnippering. So you want to make sure you're familiar with this plant so that you're not inadvertently cutting it down, because if you go through this with a whippersnipper, you're really exposing yourself. You could be spraying those plant saps all over your body. And anytime you're out in the lawn doing yard work, I would recommend you're fully covered with long sleeves, long pants, closed-toe shoes. Even when you're hiking in an unknown area and you may encounter it, you want to make sure that none of your skin is exposed to the sunlight, because that's one way to prevent the burns, is preventing any sunlight from reaching your skin.
If you have been in contact with wild parsnip, make sure you contact your doctor and avoid sunlight in the exposed areas. For Holton Insider, I'm Kristen Demeny.